Would you believe it? We're going to sing both those songs at the same time. This is your mission, should you choose to accept it. So maybe you really like Deck the Hall, and that's the one you want to sing. Or maybe you like The First Noel, and that's the one you want to sing. Or maybe you want to stay with people so you're together, in which case we will do the First Noel. You're playing the First Noel, Randy? Oh, First Noel on that side, Deck the Hall on this side. The words will be on the screen for both. Follow what you see. Are you ready? Here we go. Nicely done. And I bet a few people were saying, okay, I just kind of sort of almost get it. So one more time, both at the same time. Thank you. Nicely done. Welcome. Welcome and Merry Christmas Eve, everybody. Betsy, I think that's the first time we've ever done that with harp glissandos. That was fun. That was fun. Nicely done. Well, welcome those of you in the room. Welcome those of you on Zoom. Welcome those of you who are viewing this later on YouTube. I'm the Reverend Kevin Tarsa, here with our wonderful music makers, Toby, Betsy, Kate, Randy, and our worship associate, Lindsay Dunckel. Thank you. Buried behind the tree, we just sang the festive Deck the Hall, rooted in that kind of joyous, earthy origins of winter celebrations, with its images of holly leaves, leaves that stay green all year, a reminder of, in the snowy places at least, of the spring that will come again. And then we sang a piece of the Christian Christmas story of a baby born in a manger, a baby who would bring a message of compassion and love and courage to the world later. The first Noel focused on the shepherds in the fields, the surprising presence of an angel, and an especially bright star in the night sky. And then we sang the two songs at the same time for a reason, not just because we could. On Christmas Eve, some people come to Unitarian Universalist services hungry for the Christmas story of the baby in the manger and hungry for traditional carols. And some people come looking for anything but that. And some people come looking for a mix or something in between or something else, or maybe something they're not even quite sure of on Christmas Eve. And here we are, all together in the same room, looking for something that will speak to our hearts, to our lives, looking for the connection within, among, and beyond us, looking for the magical candlelit warmth of Christmas Eve, maybe. So I'm curious, who came for the Christmas story tonight? Because that's something you love, the story of the manger. Yeah, thank you. And who came to avoid that story? Who came for something in between? Who's mostly rooted in the cyclical rhythms of the earth and sun and the seasons and solstice? And who came as a gift to someone who asked you to come with them? And who came for reasons I have not named? In this particular time in the world and in the nation, on this particular Christmas Eve, us, here together in the same place on Zoom and even in the future, here for different reasons. Us, making room for ourselves and each other to be authentic in our unique ways. This year, to me, feels like the Christmas story of the moment. A story the man people know and love as Jesus would, if walking the earth today, be glad for, I am certain. Our Unitarian Universalist tradition names this pluralism and claims it as one of our deep values, one of the ways we live love in the world, making room in our hearts for our differences. Pluralism is the possibility that among us we can hold different beliefs, different ideas, different ways of being, and still know that we are connected, still know that we are community, still know that we are loved and can love each other. And just like singing Deck the Hall and the First Noel at the same time, holding different beliefs and views can be a bit tricky and worthwhile. I'll point out that it took some flexibility and adaptation and some graciousness to make those two songs work together. We sang Deck the Hall in 3/4 time instead of 2 beats in a measure. And then in First Noel, we changed one of the chords so it wouldn't clash with Deck the Hall. And then the First Noel singers had to pause for a moment to let the Deck the Hall singers sing that line so it could come back in together. So we had to work a little bit, right? We had to shift what we normally do. Tonight, this is an important piece of the Christmas story. Finding room for each other when the night is long, our spirits are weary, the winds are cold, and we're looking for shelter, safety, connection, warmth, hope, joy, love, whatever it is that you are looking for, each in our own way. So as we prepare to enter our time, now is a great time to let our devices have a break, give them a rest. If you're not sure, I invite you to take it out and double check. And I invite you in a moment to greet your fellow travelers. You won't know exactly their journey likely, but you can know that they have their reasons for being here tonight. So let's take it upon ourselves to make sure that everyone around us is greeted kindly and well. With that, I invite you to greet your fellow travelers.
At this time of year, as the season turns past solstice and begins the slow opening toward equinox, we are often made viscerally aware of the earth, of the land that we inhabit. Let us, in the same breath, be aware that before those of us of non-Native American descent were residents or visitors on this land, it was inhabited by the Nisenan people who are still here among us. People for whom the story of a poor, unwelcomed couple, shunned and cast aside, may resonate in a different way, reflecting stories of their elders and ancestors. May we commit ourselves to supporting the Nevada City Rancheria Nisenan tribe in efforts to stabilize their people, as well as the campaign to restore tribal sovereignty through federal recognition. We place a basket of black oak acorns on our altar in recognition that our own deepest well-being is tied to the tribe's well-being. In the Unitarian Universalist tradition, we light a chalice at the beginning of gatherings, especially worship services, as a symbol of our faith. As we light the chalice, we're connected to all the other congregations that are lighting a chalice tonight, that have lit one in the past, that will light one in the future. As we symbolically enter the spirit of worship with the lighting of the chalice, in the words of Reverend Susan J. Ritchie, we illuminate a world that we feel called upon to service with love and a sense of justice. Tonight, we're going to light 3 chalices, and I invite the people who are going to do that lighting to come up now. Each one of these chalices is distinct, like the reasons that bring us to this service this evening, like the many UU congregations they connect us to, like the past, present, and future that are a part of the larger whole of which we are a part, like the many aspects of Christmas. We draw on the words of Ada V. Hendricks as we light our chalice.
Today, we light our chalice for the gladness of Christmas, which is hope.
So how you want to take one? Or it might be easier from this side, actually. So you take one like that and like that.
We light our chalice for the spirit of Christmas, which is peace. A lot of peace. We light our chalice for the heart of Christmas, which is love.
Thank you to all of our lighters this afternoon. On this special eve, we've lit our first chalice for the gladness of Christmas, which is hope. And we thought that we could embody each of these special words by learning the American Sign Language for it. It turns out there are 3 ways to sign hope in American Sign Language. So the first will come as no surprise. You cross your fingers. That's like when you're hoping something's going to come true, right? That kind of hope. And the second is like the noun hope, like the spiritual hope that you might hold. You point to your forehead, you lift up, and then you wave your hands twice. Yep, hope. And the third one, you make a V with each hand, and you look up, and you sort of like you're propping something up. Hope, that kind of hope, ooh, helping it to happen, right? So we have hope, and we have hope, and we have hope.
I think that many people find themselves looking for hope about now in life in general, but also every year midwinter in the long tender nights. We look for it in the gatherings and the rituals and the candlelight sometimes, especially when the busyness pauses for a moment, right? When out of all the fullness of the busyness, things still for a second, and everyone around us seems to be looking for connection and meaning. There's a really lovely poem by Carl Seedberg that begins, it's in three phrases. This is the first. In the gentle of the moon, in the garnet of a star, feel the presence of a hope where the crowding shepherds are. So here we are in our own crowding, right? Here's our stable together. So I have a question. We'll be having some conversations tonight. And the question is, what are you hoping for these days? Inside you, in your life, in the lives of those you love, in the world? In what direction is your hope pointing? I'll invite you to call it out or type it into the chat if you're on Zoom. And then we wonder which version of hope is your hope? Or. So who's willing to name what are you hoping for these days? I remember when I was young, I was hoping for a lot of snow at night so we wouldn't have school the next day. Or hoping for really great Christmas presents, or a lot of sweet desserts. And then later, as I got a little bit older, I was hoping for friends or kindness. It kept changing as I grew older. So no matter where you are in your life, what is it that you're hoping for these days? Anyone? I'm sorry? Love? Hoping for love, yes. Thank you.
Hoping for a peaceful world for my grandchildren.
A peaceful world. So love, which kind of hope do you think that is? Anybody? Could be, it depends how you approach it, right? It could be this, it could be this. A peaceful world for grandchildren. Yeah. What else? What are you hoping for these days? Deeply hoping for?
Beautiful music.
Beautiful music. Randy, which kind of hope is that, do you think? For you? Transcendent music, yes. Yes. Yeah. Hoping for getting along with people. Beautiful. Which kind of hope do you think that is? Anybody? What kind do you think? I see some of this. Yeah. What else? If you think deeply, what are you hoping for?
I hope to be able to live out my life with dignity.
To live out my life with dignity. Which kind of hope do you think, Michael? Anybody? I see both this and this, right? Yeah. Lindsay's got some from online.
Hoping the understanding and love will triumph over hate and division.
That hope that understanding and love will triumph over hate and division. This and this, right?
Hoping kindness outshines cruelty.
Hoping kindness outshines cruelty. Yeah, I'm seeing both again. Right? There's work to do, and it's a deeper thing, right? Any final answers? Yeah.
The light prevails.
That light prevails. What kind of hope? Yeah, this one for you. All kinds of hopes we hold, some that we don't even say out loud ever. I want to share some wisdom from a colleague of mine, Kendall Gibbons, about Christmas. She says, Christmas is subversive. She writes, one of the great things about Christmas is that it's a sturdy holiday. Christmas doesn't wimp out when times are hard. It comes anyway. Even if there are hardly any presents, even when there isn't much food to make a feast with, even if you're sad, even if the world around you is at war, even if you are living in fear and danger and oppression, Christmas still comes. And when it comes, Christmas is subversive. Christmas, with its story of an unwed mother and a doubtful father, and its legend of a helpless baby born in a stable who was worshipped by some of the wisest, richest people in the world, with its tale of the child pursued by the deadly wrath of kings, who escaped as a refugee to a foreign land far from home. Christmas, with its ancient, enduring summons of peace on earth, goodwill to all people everywhere. You can't stop a day like that with a little hardship, or greed, or injustice. It will show up anyway, she writes, shining the light of a midnight star into the darkest places of our collective lives. She ends with this: do not underestimate the power of the manger and the hope it holds. The Christmas song of the angels is not as innocent as it sounds. It has turned the world upside down before now, and it still can. May your hope be fulfilled in all the ways that serve love and compassion and well-being. One of my favorite songs from this time of year is an Advent song, the time leading up to Christmas. So O come, Emmanuel. It might have something to do with singing Gregorian chant through my entire childhood. But I also love the spirit of it, and I love the words that we use here in this tradition, which invites light, invites truth, invites hope, invites love to dwell within us. Rejoice, it says, it's gonna come. It's a way of opening ourselves to that possibility. So I invite us to rise in body or in spirit and to sing, or if it's your preference to hum, or if it's your preference just to take it in with holding your hopes and longings close to your heart.
And we lit our second chalice for the spirit of Christmas, which is peace. And the sign for peace, you place one hand on top of the other, and then you do it the other way, sort of like you're making a tortilla. And then you calm everything down. Let's try that 3 times.
So that Carl Sieberg goes on with the second phrase, soon the apple tree will bud. So those of you who know the Christian story, this is anticipating, soon the apple tree will bud and the crimson fruit will fall. But within the stable shed, there's no thought of that at all. Peaceful not because everything's easy or comfortable, but peace in the midst of all that is and all that is to come. So another question for you. What helps you feel peaceful? What helps you feel peaceful? Have to have peace. Knitting with my son. Yeah, activity together. Happening as we speak. What helps you feel peaceful? A warm bath. A warm bath. Petting a dog. Petting a dog. Yes. My sister. Lovely. I'm sorry? Sleep. Sleep, right. Helps you feel peaceful. Walking in the woods. Sitting in front of a lighted candle. Fire, flame. I saw a hand over here. Playing with my grandchildren. Yeah. A warm bath. Oh, let's bless each of these. Yeah. Making art. Oh, yeah, peaceful. Petting my wife. Tai Chi. Here we are. Looking at the night sky. Couple from online.
Calming music and doing creative artwork.
Calming music and doing creative artwork.
Painting, sewing, drawing.
Painting, sewing, drawing. There's some themes here.
Attending Christmas Eve service.
Attending Christmas Eve service. Being in community. Ever more precious, I think. Singing. I see you. Crocheting with my grandma. Yes. Oh, did you say cooking or crocheting? Crocheting. Drawing. Oh, all kinds of things that help us feel peaceful.
Watching the crimson fade from the sunset sky.
Watching the crimson, the red color fade from the sunset sky. Nature, so many ways.
Being in the present.
Being in the present instead of the future or the past, but right now.
Smelling flowers.
Smelling flowers. Oh, something mesmerizing about this movement. Couple more. Yeah. Gardening, skiing, and cuddling my cat. These are important things to have, aren't they? In life and the world.
A dog on my lap.
A dog on my lap. Other people and beings, right? This is one piece of it. One more? Am I missing anybody that I'm not seeing? Yeah. Sitting by the yuba. Oh, you are in good company. I know already from this crowd, you are in good company. Thank you. One of the really peaceful images of the Christmas story for me is the image of the sleeping baby. And more than that, the held baby, right? So I'm the second oldest of 8 children. I spent quite a bit of time doing childcare. And to this day, when someone's, because it's hard to hold still, right? When you have a baby in arm, And I find myself right along with them, going back and forth. My body just settles right into it. There's something about the rocking rhythm, right? In that image of that baby restful. Again, not because everything's great. It certainly has to have been stressful time with that baby, right? But the moments when they do come, oh, precious, right? For those parents, right? Get those precious moments when it gets still and peaceful and calm. So I'm going to invite us to hum a lullaby together. A song that's meant to be soothing to a baby. And this one you'll recognize it, but it's in a minor key. In other words, it recognizes the complexity of life, right? And still says, peace, peace, peace. So I invite you to let this humming, we'll hum a couple times through, be a prayer for the peacefulness that you're seeking.
Our third chalice we lit for the heart of Christmas, which is love. The sign language for love. You take two fists and you cross them, and then you kind of hunch your shoulders in. And I feel it when I do that. Love. It is the central value. It's the heart of Christmas. It's the central value in Unitarian Universalism through which all the others are actualized. Love.
It's hard not to feel that, right? When you pull your shoulders in particular. Yeah. The Carl Seberg, the final line, my favorite. I think this is a beautiful line. Touch the treasure of a faith that the mythic Easterns hear. See the measure of a love come candescent down the air. See the measure of a love come glowing down the air. This is the deep message of Christmas and Christianity and Unitarian Universalism when we're all at our best. Love made real, right? Come from something ethereal to something very tangible. We would say in our tradition that what matters is how we live our lives, how we live our love. That's the most important thing. So a final question for you. The reading, the chalice lighting, named love as the heart of Christmas. What's the heart of Christmas for you? What's the centerpiece? What's the most important thing about Christmas for you? Family. I see a bunch of nods with family. Happiness? Happiness. Heart of Christmas. Sorry? Beauty. Having beauty. Being blessed with beauty. Generosity. What's the heart of Christmas for you? And some of us have to go digging a little bit, especially certain years. Yeah. Equality, beautiful. There's a kind of love, right? Wanting equality. Traditions, the things you do every year. I see some nods. Yeah. Family, someone says online.
Caring for others.
Caring for others.
My children's joy.
My children's joy. The heart of Christmas. And if you were to live love, if you were to do something really loving at Christmas, what would it be? What would be the thing that would really evidence love, that would say, this is being loving in the world? What are some of the possibilities? Feeding people. Caring for people. Bob, did you have your hand? Helping those in need. Giving someone a present, a gift. Unconditional acceptance. Oh my goodness, that's one of the most precious gifts, I think. Yeah. There's a form of love, right? Unconditional acceptance. What else for you? What would be love that someone either could show you or that you would offer? What would be a heart-centered version of love? Deep listening, where you really listen to someone. Oh, there's a gift. There's a gift. Forgiveness. Oh, huge. Huge. Giving gifts to others, someone says on Zoom. Mm-hmm. Anything that the quiet people, I include myself as one of those quiet internal processors that you've been thinking but you haven't said out loud yet. Either the heart of Christmas for you or a form of love. Is there something that's just on the verge of being spoken? Understanding, also huge. Harmonizing carols, musically and otherwise, right? Harmonizing, where we don't sing the same thing, but we sing something that works together. Yeah. Believing in innocence. Yeah, when that gets challenged. Yeah. Magic. Warmth. Reaching out to lonely people. expression of love. It's with this idea that love is really at the center, and all these are expressions, right? All our values are ways we express or live out that love. And with that, we're finally going to light our chalice from our 3 chalices that were focused on hope and peace and love. Could also be gold, frankincense, and myrrh soon. We light our chalice, a symbol of the tradition. And whether this is your tradition or not, I invite you to let it symbolize what's at the heart of what matters to you. I love the metaphor. It's not always easily lit, right? And with that, one more thing to sing before we sing Silent Night and pass the candlelight. We're going to sing the Gloria from Angels We Have Heard on High, just the Gloria in Excelsis Deo, just that part. And as we do, we're going to pass around a couple baskets with origami hearts. Every single one is a different kind of paper. They're all different. So no two will be exactly the same. So I invite you to take a heart as you choose and let it be a symbol for you to keep reflecting on or celebrating or living into what is the heart of Christmas for you.
This is the sign language for applause. Love. Hope. 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 Peace. Love.
We take an offering tonight for the minister's discretionary fund. And what that means is that it's some money that I have your permission to use to help people who are in need. So sometimes that's someone who comes to the door I've never met before, who's looking for some food or a gift card to get some groceries. Sometimes we help ease the burden of someone's rent for a month, or we help someone have electricity when it's about to be turned off, or we help someone have some gas to get to work, or we help refugees escaping violence to transition to a new home. That's how that money is used all year long. I want you to know that it's put to really, really helpful use throughout the year. I know there will be people from this congregation and people who simply find their way to our door who will be glad and grateful and well served by your generosity. So thank you for all the ways that you give to help others, including this one. We'll pass a couple baskets, and a slide will show some other ways to give in case that's helpful to you. Thank you. Let us dedicate these gifts, our Christmas Eve giving, to the wholeness, to the health, to the well-being of those who will come looking for support, for comfort, for hope, for peace and kindness, and any evidence of love. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you to our music makers, including the choir, Kate, Randy, Betsy, Toby. Thank you very much. Thanks to our AV folks who come on a Christmas Eve to help Zoom and do sound. Huge thank you. Always ready, always glad for more volunteers, especially now. Carl, thanks for greeting so beautifully. Lori for leading the refreshment charge with Janet there. Thank you. Thanks everyone who brought goodies too. We will sing in our very traditional way, Silent Night at the end. As we pass the light, we'll start with the chalice and just let the light slowly work its way through the room. If yours is the candle that's lit, I invite you to hold it straight up and down. Just let the person whose candle is not lit come to you and get their light, and then they'll hold theirs straight up and down for somebody else to get the light from them. Does that make sense? Yeah, so we'll sing, we'll hum, we'll let the light pass, we'll let the other lights come down. I invite you to enter into as much Christmas Eve-ness as is helpful to you. It's a special kind of silence, a shared silence, complete with jingle bells. Thank you. So I'm going to invite us in a moment to blow out our candles, but to hang on to them while the wax hardens for a moment. So we're going to keep them just the way they are, but we're going to blow them out. In a moment, we'll extinguish our various and many chalices. And in a little bit, we'll say our community benediction, which sends us on our way, reminding us that we're going to take the light with us. But I invite you to notice what you feel in your body at this moment. And for anything that's good that you feel in your body, in your heart, in your spirit, that feels like something you want to take with you, I invite you to let that go with you tonight and into tomorrow and into the new year, in fact. So I think that's enough for cooling. We'll bring up the lights a little bit so that our chalice lighters, right, can extinguish the chalices.
As we extinguish the light of our candle and our chalice, may we carry with us and within us the gladness of Christmas, which is hope.
As we extinguish the light of our candles and our chalice, may we carry with us and within us the spirit of Christmas, which is peace.
As we extinguish the light of our candles and our chalice, may we carry with us the heart of Christmas, which is love.
Thank you to our chalice lighters and our chalice extinguishers very much. Thank you. The gladness of Christmas, which is hope, the spirit of Christmas, which is peace, the heart of Christmas, which is love, may they all go with you. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit. Those who are members of the congregation will know are these good words that we say to each other. I invite everyone to take them in, to take the light with you as we go this evening. Together, let us carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again. Merry Christmas. Please join us for refreshments and conversation and connection, and may it be a wonderful entrance to the new year.